Hi, hello, how's it going? This is Ronaldo Hernandez, and today I'm gonna talk about us, triceps snapping when you do push-ups and dips. So I had this guy ask me about. Uh, Shout out to Atlantic S. He's the one that asked the question. Uh, anyways, he asked me about, oh, how can I fix, snapping triceps. Um, and then I think he said like it normally happens during when I do push-ups. Now, first off, I said that, there's a lot that I don't even know about you. Like, one, like, past medical history. There's any other issues or symptoms you might be dealing with. How long have you had the snapping occur? Does the snapping occur when you do other type of movement? Things like that. Um, but anyways, I noticed that in this like snapping triceps community, I see that a lot of people ask like, "Oh, how can I fix?" Or yeah, how can I fix snapping triceps when I do push-ups, dips, exercises? And there's times when they say it normally happens when I do the exercise. If it normally happens during the exercise, it's safe to say that it's most likely in regards to how you're doing it. So he said so. Anyways, what the guy asked me was, well, what are 3 ways to fix it? Well, these are gonna be the 3 things. These are the 3 things I shared with him. One I said is your form right? And I was, and with that, there's like a lot of other things to consider in regards to form, like how's your hand placement? Like, is it like above your chest? Is it below your chest? Um, Another thing is, do you have a good neck alignment? A lot of times people kind of like have this kind of forehead thing going on when they do push-ups, or they look up. They look up, and that also kind of causes like a forehead thing to happen. So one thing to keep in mind is your neck alignment. Another thing is do you have proper thoracic extension? Are you properly extending the spine from the thoracic region? What else? Do you have a proper arch in your lower back? You know, Things like that. You kind of need to look out for. It's kind of more just like how's your position, before you start to exercise and during the whole exercise. So yeah. Another thing that you really want to consider, and to my opinion, this is probably the most important thing to look into, and this is do you have proper scapular mechanics in the exercise? What that basically means is just are you using the muscles in the shoulder complex, and are your shoulder blades moving correctly in the exercise? Um, like I said before, this is probably gonna be the most important thing, and this is probably gonna be the reason for most of people's issues is that they're not properly moving the scapula correctly, and the muscles of the surrounding scapula, it's not being utilized correctly as well. This also kind of ties into looking out for form, but this particular, I guess you could say, region is needs special attention. Like, it needs like separate attention. Like, because what I talked about before, in the beginning is kind of in regards to your whole body alignment, but this is more specified into like if your scapula is moving correctly, and that's to be honest, like, I've seen a lot of people do push-ups and dips, and most of the time they're actually doing it wrong. They look like they're doing it right because they go, yeah, they bring their body to the floor, and then they press up, but most of the time, like, they're not even actually using the muscles that are supposed to be engaged. You know, so it's weird. Like it's like the shoulder does not move at all. It just stays still, or they're not moving it correctly, and you have like some kind of like abnormal movement going on too. So I feel like that's probably the most important thing to consider in regards to your form or snapping triceps during push-ups and dips. Um, Another thing to consider is do you have proper breathing mechanics in the exercise? Breathing is very important um, in regards to movement, and I want to say also like engaging your muscles properly. Like, you know, I don't know how to really explain this. Like, it might sound kind of dumb, but you just gotta make sure like you're breathing to your whole body, and if you're getting like enough oxygen to your body too in the exercise. Like like people sometimes they might be holding their breaths when they do exercise, or they might not be breathing properly when executing the exercise. So yeah, just keep in mind of your breathing. Like, no, is it are you breathing correctly? And what might help too is, like this is just a tip in regards to the exercise. That most of the time when you do push-ups and dips, you kind of have to breathe in when you're going down, when you're lowering your chest, and then you breathe out when you like press out or press up. So just keep in mind of your breathing, man, and also breathe through your nose. Stop breathing through your mouth. If you breathe through your mouth, that's some of the worst things you can do. You gotta breathe through your nose. And for right now, that's pretty much all I got in regards to your triceps snapping during push-ups and dips. Like I said before, I don't know what other issues some people might be dealing with, or just anything like kind of involved with the snapping triceps. I don't know. There's a lot of things to consider. Like, there's really a lot of things to consider. But this is, I guess you could say, this is mostly for people that can benefit from it, that only experience snapping triceps when doing the exercise. If you have snapping triceps outside of that, to be honest, I feel like you have other problems as well. Most likely, you probably do. So, yeah. I also want to say that I'm on like kind of getting notes together for explaining why snapping tricep syndrome even occurs. If it's more of like a major problem, yeah. Like, it just happens all the time and stuff like that. And it could be something involved with thoracic syndrome. Right now it seems to me that like snapping triceps, it's like I wouldn't say it's like a symptom of something else, but it's like a result of another issue that you have. And right now it's looking it could be right now it's looking like it's a result of thoracic syndrome. And to make matter worse, it could be that syndrome could be a result of something else, which is like a C1 misalignment or forward head posture. This is from what I've been finding. So right now I'm trying to just like get some notes down and kind of just like structure why it is. But yeah, so thank you for tuning in. I hope this helps, and this is a Fast Life.